Hey guys, it's Aurora. I just wanted to check in and apologize for not updating. My computer was being really weird and I didn't have any space, so I wasn't allowed to edit my movies that I have. I have my responses to almost all of my DC New 52 Book 2s, and I've read Volume 3, but I have not done the video reviews of that, and I will get on that soon. Just letting you know what's up. Sorry about the huge delay. Just want to say hi. I just went to Geek and Saturday was the first day. Tomorrow, Sunday, will be my second day. This is my first time going. I didn't know about this until this year, and I wish I knew about this previously, like when I lived here in Seattle during high school, because I would have gone. It would have been great. I had a fun but exhausting and super tiring day. I also got lots of fun goodies in the mail, like a Welcome to Night Vale Glow Cloud shirt and socks and Cassandra Cain Batwoman books. The other ones are coming. All kinds of fun goodies. And Geek Girl Con was awesome. I actually wanted to tell you guys about it. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm like a huge insomniac, so I only sleep during the day, and I usually am up all night. So I ended up only getting 3 hours of sleep, and somehow mysteriously woke up at 8:30 and got in time to get there at a little bit I don't know, 10:20ish. So it officially started panels at 10, but I don't know, I made it. I did there's lots of fun things that I got to go to. I didn't go to 3D Printing 101, which I'm sad about, but I did do How to Be a Nerd for a Living, and the woman who voices Wonder Woman in the Justice League was talking about that. Monster Lee's voice acting, gaming, marketing, all of those people were talking about what it's like to work in their profession. At first I was just kind of but then it seemed to be really interesting, and it's cool to hear about these things and be okay, well, this is what I need to do. Oh, special effects, makeup artists. That was super interesting. And then next they had Code Carrot's programming workshop, or Feminist Community Building 101, and I took a gamble. I went to the code one because I wanted to learn things. I felt like I didn't know enough science things, because I'm all about stories and social myths and stuff like that, and I regret it, because I was gonna try to do half code thing, half feminist community thing when it was in full swing, and the code thing was just networking, and that was not helpful to me, because I didn't I didn't have anything I needed to get done, and I saw the end of the feminist community building one, and it was I was I missed it, feminist frequency, black girl nerd, several different really cool people were talking about really interesting things about being a geek, and I don't know, receiving death threats and all kinds of stuff, sexism, all that, why they do what they do and who it affects and stuff like that. And so I missed it. I'm gonna try to find it maybe. And then next, my friend Lauren joined me, and we went to Cosplay Mall Fat, and it was really informative, both for body positivity reasons, cosplay reasons in general. I feel like it was a great panel, because I feel like everyone could get something out of it, because people aren't shaped like people are shaped in comics, and so when you're cosplaying these things that are not real, and when you have actresses, it's those people were naturally born in a way that their body could be molded that way, and then they also spend a majority of their time training to keep their body in a certain shape, and that's not something normal people can do. So movie magic, all that kinds of stuff, and so I thought the the cosplaying with that was like a great, it was a really great panel for body positivity. For like cosplay, I learned to like how like drag queens are an inspiration and all kinds of cool things. And especially there's this kind of like special primer that you can use that like you put makeup on and it like will like wash all your makeup off at once when you wash it off or something like that, and that's cool. Or like clown makeup that you can essentially like once you corn starch it, you can like swim in it. But like if you are doing like body paint, do not use watered down acrylic because it smudges and it gets on expensive costumes, all that stuff, and that's awful. And I thought that was like really cool. I didn't know any of these things. And I want to do cosplay, but I used to be like a huge stickler and be like, I have to be exactly this character, you know, like the hair color had to be the same, eye color, body shape, type, everything. And so I was like less interested in doing it. Also, it's like a lot of work. And so I've gotten over that to a certain extent. If I'm going to do anything, I do want to do it right. So it's really cool to attend that panel. And also, you know, just like how to like, you know, you strut. It's all about like being comfortable. Like don't make yourself uncomfortable when you're cosplaying, and just to be confident. And it doesn't matter what body type you are. If you are confident, you'll look a lot better than if you are uncomfortable. And so that was really interesting. And then we went to the curious about comics panel. It's like curious about comics, we've got you covered. And it was a lot of recommendations. People asked like, oh, like you have like good trans comics, comics for children, comics for girls, comics that aren't about superheroes. And there was a lot of really interesting things. I stepped out midway through because I wanted to check out a Women's Places on the Bridge, Trek Women in Charge, but I got sidetracked and ended up talking to these people who ended up being the panelists in Geek Couture Pop Culture in the high fashion world, which was cool. And they were giving away, at the end of the Curious About Comics panel, they were giving away comics, which was really cool. They did Saga, Rat Queens, Pretty Deadly, Hexed, and this other one, I feel like it's like Bones or Giants or something, I don't know. My friend got that one, so I got this one because I've read Rat Queens and own it. My roommate owns Saga, and I have Pretty Deadly, but I haven't read it yet. So, got it all covered. It's pretty great. And that was interesting. It was mostly like largely a recommendation panel, which makes sense. And then the Geek Couture Pop Culture and High Fashion World, I actually got a lot more talking to them by chance out in front of the panel thing. I actually approached a woman because she had it's kind of like a 50s stylist Marvel dress. And I was like, oh, did you make that? And she's like, oh, no, my friend commissioned it from my friend. Like, I designed it. She made it for me. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And I asked some questions. And she said, you know, talking about her best friend. And then this friend of hers who was next to her also makes Geek Couture things. And it's like she makes, like, geek-inspired blazers and stuff for, like, older, more mature women. And also people who like nicer things. And so it was really cool to talk to them about, you know, because I like talk about, I don't know, I really care about being able to dress like geeky easily, and I Christmas shop for my brother and for myself at the same time. I just like orders all stuff. And my brother has like 4 times the options of like good geeky things that we can get, you know. It's like 1 out of 3 t-shirts is on a girl's t-shirt, and like sometimes the girls' t-shirts are like specialized girl t-shirts, and they're like the stupidest thing ever. For example, this is Serenity schematic, and I saw it at Think Geek. I didn't buy it at time. It was gone forever. I bought my brother this shirt in the men's thing, and then I like couldn't find this shirt again. And then I had to like scour Amazon for it and like really hunt for it in order to find it, and that's like ridiculous. And I don't know, like it's frustrating to me. And it was like So the panel was talking about how cool it is that like geek, it's like the rise of the girl geek and geek fashion, and how it's a lot more in popular media about now how you have more options. It's displayed in the female section and not just the junior section and in the corner. All kinds of things like that, and that was interesting to like hear, to talk about. It was cool. I got some advice from them before the panel about how Etsy is really a hobby thing. It's not like a business venture, and how you shouldn't make everything in advance because then you'll have sitting inventory, and how it's like a good place to get started. And you know, I want to like hear more about that, but I don't know. Somebody asked somebody launched their line around the same time at the San Diego Comic-Con, was doing the do you guys know that girl superhero brand? I don't know, like Geek Chic or whatever. I don't know. It's like cool and it's new, and it's just like geek clothing line, and it's like mostly stuff that I feel like is out there already, or like they're making it and other places have it. So it didn't seem like, when I checked it out a little while ago, didn't seem to have anything like super new. And so that's like, you know, I feel like we still have a long way to go for women's fashion. Like now we finally have A-line dresses and we have more t-shirts, but you know, we had that like training to be Batman's wife fiasco of a t-shirt. That was just awful. A lack of female centered t-shirts. Like we have so many, like we have like several Robin t-shirts, Nightwing, Red Hood, Batman, but we don't have a Batwoman t-shirt. Or there's like 3 different Batgirl designs you could have, and you have 2 Batgirl t-shirts at all. And so, like, that's a very specific example, but at the same time, I feel like that's a good, like, summary of what it is. You know, we lack, like, female options of male shirts, and we also lack having female characters on shirts in general. Like, I don't understand why we don't have a Captain Marvel costume tee. I found, like, one Miss Marvel costume tee in the depths of Amazon, like, page 20 of, like, random superhero stuff, because I window shop when I feel like not doing something in my life, which is always. And so that's, like, really ridiculous. And so we're making progress, but I feel like we still have a lot to go. Somebody asked them if a question of like, oh, do you feel like you face double sexism in fashion and in geek couture? And somebody said, no, I almost feel like, I don't know, guys complain that they no longer have options, like, or they have less options than girls do, and I feel like that's true, but at the same time, I feel like, I don't know, we're not quite equal yet, so, I don't know. I'm glad the A-line dresses started being a thing, and I would buy more of them if I needed any more A-line dresses, but I have like so many, and I'm all about t-shirts that I can wear with everything all the time, or like jackets. I don't know. I'm all about that comfy cosplay. That was something that was mentioned during the cosplaying while fat like panel, which is cool. And then about like the middle of that, I like stepped out to do the business of self-promoting, marketing your art or small business online. And I was really hoping for a little bit more. Like, I feel like there was a slideshow I missed, but it ended up being like somebody being like, I have a video, how do I ask for people to pay me money to continue it and stuff like that. And I just feel like that was not a question that I found super helpful, because, you know, you do Patron and you do thing. I feel like a lot of things that I follow are always asking for money. People I follow on Tumblr are just like, hey, I have a PayPal button. If you want to help me pay rent, like, please donate, you know? Or, like, Kickstarters and all those things. And so I feel like so many people I follow use that, like, or that I, like, know about use that it seems weird that somebody's asking questions about, like, oh, how do I ask for this? And I'm like, well, this is how you do this. I'm more want to know about, like, how you social network, how you get those connections, how you get somebody to, I don't know, starting, like, they talked a lot about branding, and I feel like I missed that part, because having a brand and having a logo is super important. And when you're asking for money, it's all about, if you don't have a real product, it's about branding. Although somebody did ask a question of how do I do a Kickstarter if I don't have products to sell. And so I feel like that's, I don't know, you do have products, but I don't know. So I feel like I didn't get as much out of that as I wanted to. I wanted to check out Foam Fight Like a Girl, but that one was like so filled up. There was like a line for people leaving, and I didn't get to check that out. So then I took a look at the Geek Identity, Exploring What It Means to Be Geek in Today's Society panel. And it was like two girls kind of talking about how, you know, they were bullied for being a nerd when they were younger, and they were bullied for being like a girl in the nerdy community when they were younger, and kind of how nerdiness has changed because of the movies. It's like a lot more accessible, and a lot of people can call themselves a geek, especially with pop culture now. And it's a lot less niche, and there are some people who are upset about that. Some people are less welcoming and just kind of talk about like being accepting and stuff, and that was not necessarily what I wanted to hear more about, so I like left after like 10 minutes. And I mean, I feel like a valid feeling that some nerds who were persecuted when they were younger is like, I was nerdy and I was made fun of by popular people, and now the popular people can call themselves a nerd, and I feel like that's not, you know, and I feel like that's a valid feeling to have. But then there's also just like bullying people in general, and that's stupid. I have never actually faced the problem. Like I don't know, I feel like I was always into like super nerdy things. Like I like was a huge bookworm growing up, and I had a babysitter who was awesome, who introduced me to anime and manga, and like she gave me some for Jubilee Comics, and I actually went to Comic-Con in New York City. I think my friend invited me like freshman year of high school, and that was when it was in like Lafayette, and not in the giant place it was, like small and indie, and that was cool. And so, you know, I had the anime and manga thing going on, and that was cool. Then when I was younger, and now I'm trying to get into DC and Marvel comics, and that's interesting, and I've never, I think partially it's just like where I am, you know. I have a wonderful comic book store that's really helpful. I mean, I spend so much money there. And I've never really, every time I've gone to conventions, maybe it's because I don't, like, I don't know, I've never had people, like, challenge me and ask, like, quiz me for facts. A lot of time we're discussing things. If anything, it's my brother and I have a competition about who buys the best and the most stuff. And Max, my brother, reads a lot of the more mainstream comics. I'm trying to get him to, like, even, like, you know, you have, like, Marvel, you have, like, the headlining series, which is, like, Spider-Man and the Avengers and Iron Man and Captain America, and I'm reading, like, Hawkeye and Young Avengers and, like, all the side stories, not the main events, and so I'm always trying to be like, Max, read this, it's really good. Max, please read this. And he's like, no, you need to read this. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'm reading this, but like, I mean, like, but first you need to read this. And so we don't have a lot of things that we talk about, which is sad because we're both super into comics and we have like I don't know, a hefty collection. Max doesn't read a lot of comics in general though, because that requires effort, and he's a big video gamer, of which I'm not. My craftiness is in the physical artsy shit with knitting and sewing. Anyway, so then I checked out the ethics in comics panel, my friend was, and that was interesting. Wasn't exactly what I was thinking when I heard ethics in comics, but I didn't have a specific set. A lot of it was like this, like, what is the value of life and who is important, like in the Superman movie, or he's like, you know, like in Saving Private Ryan, it's like you like sacrificed a whole platoon for one person, and what is the value of life, and interesting things like that, or like values and such. Before I was there, they talked about, you know, diversity in comics and stuff like that, but I don't know, I wanted to check out the queer baiting in genre television, representation or exploitation, but I didn't get over there. It sounded really fun. I heard Cheers next door. You know, obviously the answer, of course, it's exploitation, but I thought that would have been an interesting panel to go to, and I wanted to hear more about that. Previously, in the same room that I didn't get to go to, was in the high fashion world. There was the 21st century boys / in the mainstream, and I was kind of interested in attending that panel too, but I didn't get to that. I was like, but fashion. And so that sounded interesting too. I feel like there's like very similar things going on in those themes. And then next there was fandom in the media, and I just like basically stayed in the same room. And that was cool. I was talking about journalists who are also in the fandom, talking about like journalism blunders, fandom and outsiders, how fandom has become a social spotlight now, and before it wasn't, like balancing that, and just so you know, it was interesting. There was also a costume contest, which I missed, and I was kind of sad about that, but I was like so tired. I got 3 hours of sleep and ate a crepe and had coffee, and that's it. And then next was the corset, object of propriety or liberation, and that was really interesting because, well, partially I missed the beginning, but it was like history of corsets and like debunking medical myths about corsets and like health risks and health benefits. Like some corsets help with back pain or correcting posture. You can have corsets that like correct scoliosis and help you with that. And that was really interesting, good to know. Somebody said that they got in an injury and they actually are much more comfortable and can run around doing corsets without their back hurting. Or how, I don't know, they wear a corset under their nurse's costume, because their nurse's outfit at work, because they're often like not remembering the correct posture when they're hefting people that are heavier than them from switching beds and patients. And so that was really interesting. You know, they also had a fan fiction sharing, creating, and the law panel, and women in the horror fandom, and villainesses of the golden age, and those are all interesting things that I would have wanted to go to, but I didn't get to because they have all these great things all at the same time, and I'm like, ugh, if only that time turner thing existed. Although maybe I would just wish there were duplicates of me, because I feel like rewinding time I would just be so tired. And then next, my friend really wanted to go to Zombies, Butts, and Teen Female Sexual Agency, the study of Tina Belcher from Bob's Burgers. And that was like so full. And so she like got to like see it for 5 minutes, and we were ready to go home. They also had Star Trek in the Park, which it's outdoor trek, and I actually saw their last performance in summer, which is the same performance they did, and it was Mirror Mirror, and it's cool because it was like Spock and Kirk are like gender bent, and I mean, like some of the other people are gender bent too, but it was like a really well done and fun thing. And I had like so many cool things to check out, so much stuff to do tomorrow, / today. It's 3 in the morning. I originally made this video on YouTube, but then it deleted it after 20 minutes, and I was just like too tired to try to do it again. I was so frustrated, like, screw you, YouTube, don't tell me you have these things if you don't. But I'm excited about my Sunday schedule. Oh, I really want to check out the DIY Science Zone. But I like looked at it, and it's largely like kid things. Pocket solar systems, slime making light, laser rules, visible link, DNA extraction. I don't know. So some of that sounds fun. My friend and I, the one friend, I invited so many people to be like, come to this is awesome. And everyone's like, I can't. And I'm like, but we're like, oh, maybe we can make our own volcanoes. I've never made it like those like science fair volcanoes before. But I'm super excited about my Sunday thing. I want to check out, there are like so many things I want to check out, but I've decided I'm going to do Carol Corps, Evolution, Face of Fandom, possibly cosplay, or creating diverse play groups after that. How to or should you start a geek business, which I was interested in. They also have a panel on fandom and Black Twitter, but I probably won't be going to that. Editing 101 for writers, cosplay, parenting, the word of I mean, there's so many great things. I'm going to go to the Galaxy Quest exploring queer sci-fi and fantasy fiction, because that is something that's interesting to me, like representation and things, and I missed all of the queer-ish panels Saturday. And then there's Evolution of the Superhero Movie Costume, because I'm all about outfits and costuming for everybody, which I'm super looking forward to. And then there's a closing celebration and all kinds of things I need to do. But no, I'm excited. I had a great day. And I really look forward to tomorrow. I hope that I wake up and make it and like feel good and stuff like that. After that, it's my brother's birthday party. He's turning 17 tomorrow. I really wanted to make cosplays to do this. One is like a Harley Quinn onesie that I can also wear as like a onesie around the house during the winter. That like separates so I can have a jacket that's just the Harley Quinn part. And like the pants are separate. All kinds of fun, complicated things. And I have designed more and more of it, and I feel like I know how to make the pattern, but I have to like get the materials and do all that stuff. And I might have been able to make it in a week, because I decided last week to like get started on it. But I didn't have any energy to make the pattern, and then I wasn't awake during the day in order to like get the material, so I'm really sad about that. Although before the con yesterday, I finally put things away in my room, so it's even possible to sew, because before I moved 4 months ago, and my room, I have boxes full of art supplies, or like unfinished projects, and like canvases, and like scrap fabric. And I just kind of left them there because I have no idea what to do with them. Of course, I put like my clothes away and like things that I use, but miscellaneous things that I keep, like fans and like, I don't know, just random miscellaneous everyday stuff. And also just like things that you accumulate and you're like, I don't even know where these CDs come from, but they must be mine because they're in this box, or like I made this and I don't know what to do with it now. I have a lot of that. So I talked for a long time, I'm sorry. I just wanted to give you guys an update. Hopefully I'll be giving you edited videos soon of my thoughts on New 52, and then I'm really looking forward to old DC and talking about that. Some of my volume 4s are coming in, so that'll be next. I really got to get going on that. And then I was like renewing books, and I finally had to return like 14 of them, soon to be like 20 of them, because I like checked out a lot of old DC, because I like first was just like, just order everything. And then I was like, oh, I need to read it all in order. So I like ended up reading part of that, and so I'll probably like read it in order and check it out again and do that. It's really interesting to see old DC and be like, oh, this is how they flashed back in this time, in this comic, and this is how they flashed back in this comic, and this is what's changed, this is what's different. Yeah, so much, I don't know. I really do like old DC a lot more than I like a fair amount of some of the New 52 things. I don't know why. Maybe I feel like it's like the art style and some of the writing style, and I don't know. Like some things are good and some things I'm just like, I just don't care about this. I feel like maybe part of it is because I really care about like team dynamics and like how people interact and all that stuff, and I feel like I see that a lot less in the New 52 than I did in the older, especially like when you have after like I can't remember the exact, was it after like Infinite Crisis or Flashpoint or something? No, there's Infinite Crisis and then there's Flashpoint, and so in between those I feel like, there's lots of interesting things going on, so I'm like looking forward to reading everything in order, from Batman and the Teen Titans. There's only so much Birds of Prey. There's like, I've probably like already checked and read it all out, which is sad. And Batgirl, and I bought Cassandra Cain Batgirl, and I'm excited about that. And I now know for sure that there's a difference between Kate Kane and Cassandra Cain, and I'm really sad that we don't see Stephanie or Cassandra Cain. I know we see them in Futures Ended, so I'll check it out. Oh, in Stephanie's series, there's constantly this little girl who's like black and has pigtails and like has a Batman symbol thing, and she's like a big fan of Stephanie as Batgirl. And you see like a 12-year-old Batgirl who's black and has like pink bat symbol thing, and I think it's the same girl. So I probably will read features then just for Batgirls that we don't see anymore. I look forward to maybe them being in main continuity again because I feel like Stephanie's great. Barbara's great. I actually really miss Barbara being the Oracle. I really liked Barbara as the Oracle. And it's partially because I really do feel like you need to have somebody who's like got all the plans and can help you, and you can't just like do everything yourself. And also like part of the idea that like you can be disabled and you can be active in helping people, and you know, Barbara being smart and doing computer things. I feel like I see that a lot less in the New 52. Like they talk about how she does computer things, but they don't actually show her doing anything with computers at all. You know, and I miss Stephanie because Stephanie is kind of like, she's a little bit reckless, and she's not like completely competent in everything. Like, I mean, she's like does a decent job, but I feel like she's messy, but she cares, and I like that. And then Cassandra Cain is the opposite. She cares, but she's like ultimately like completely, I don't know, like ultra competent when it comes to being a vigilante. I finished Death of the Family, and I'm so sad. Robin is not back yet. I can't believe I still have to wait. I procrastinated to read Death of the Family knowing I was going to cry. I mean, my favorite character didn't go away during the Death of the Family arc, but in like Volume 2's general section, which was weird. I will be talking about my frustrations with that later. I also watched the Batman Under the Red Hood DVD, and I have so many great things to read. So much. I've also been reading Fables, which is fabulous. But okay, I really need to go and stop talking. I will, for real, be giving you real videos about things. I really need to edit some stuff and, like, maybe, like, write down what I need to say about these things before I forget. And I really need to, like, turn them in because they're, like, so overdue. Well, not overdue, but they're being due soon. A few things are overdue. Alright, bye.